and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do this a little bit different. It was my birthday weekend, so I don't really want to edit 3 videos with the time frame of one day. So the Love is Blind is going to be a little different. I'm not really going to edit much. I'm just going to do it Jessie Woo style, if you guys don't know who she is, but here we go. So last episode we had left with Uche having a conversation with Milton, just trying to see where he stands with Lydia and trying to kind of warn him about his situation. Now he keeps trying to talk to him, but Lydia does not want him. She doesn't want both of them talking to each other. And the whole time with this conversation, I just felt like Uche was trying to sabotage Lydia's and Milton's relationship. And at first in the past episodes, I was a little bit okay with like the way that he delivered things and how he spoke, but now it just feels like he's trying way too hard. Like he can't really do anything else, so he's doing his best to fuck up their relationship. Look at this. It's like, okay. It feels like she's his mom. Like, no, you can't have 5 minutes. You can't have 5 minutes. And it was just ridiculous. After they have their whole conversation, Uche steps away. He goes up to the girls and he's trying to have a conversation with them, trying to kind of get them on his side of the story and making Lydia seem like she's crazy. I mean, we all know Lydia is a little bit crazy with the things that she's done, but he goes there, he tries to get them on his side, and it does not end well.
Here's the thing. I'm like, you put us in this situation because I found out that she knew I was being cast for the experiment. She wanted us to be on this experiment together.
Is your face okay?
Hold on.
Did she have to say that? No, she didn't. But I mean, we know that they don't like each other, and she's coming off very rude and disrespectful at this point. Like, I understand that she doesn't like her, but she doesn't have to be such a bitch in reality. And then it just gets worse. So all the girls kind of start ganging up on Uche because he's really just being rude and disrespectful and just trying to get them on his side. It just feels like he's trying to manipulate the story to fit his narrative, and this is what happens.
Do you want to talk? Because I feel like I want to hear your perspective.
Do you want to talk? She wants to talk. You want to talk? Can talk.
Stacey, can I talk to you? I don't want to hear.
No, I'll read you for the
Miriam's bitter.
Of course, you don't want to hear. Bitter. You were
I'm
so
trying to have a conversation
self-absorbed.
about Lydia. So
Yep.
do you want to talk about that? Do you live in Saudi Arabia? Do you
I
live
live in
Houston?
Saudi Arabia
Do you have a
and
job? Do you
Houston.
have a not
I
job? Do you
have
not have a
fucking
job?
You want to do it? Wait. I can't believe this guy.
That was so unnecessary. Like, you were the bigger person, and now you're literally just going down to the ground on how low you're becoming and just how stupid you are now. Because why would you even do that? If you really wanted to be the bigger person in the situation and you really wanted people to take your narrative, then you should have just had a conversation with Milton himself and then stepped away from the situation and just let it go. But no, you choose to have a conversation with everyone, pretend like you're the best person, pretend like you're the better guy, and then just act like you're being attacked, and then you leave. Well, he doesn't leave, but he stays around, and that was just incredibly stupid in my eyes. So he still has a conversation with Milton right after he fights with the girls, and he's still, like I said, trying to convince him to just end the relationship with Lydia. It's just, he says this.
Things are situational.
Like, like this isn't Pythagorean theorem going on. Like, this is like multi-dimensional calculus. You're in an X direction, she's in a Y direction, and I'm the Z direction. Yeah. Like, I'm not even adjacent. Yeah. Just like.
I was like, okay. It just threw me off a little bit how what he was saying. I was like, okay, we're gonna be talking about mathematics at this point now, because I don't know what that was. But it doesn't really end anywhere. And he's like, oh, maybe we can still have a friendship. Don't let her destroy our friendship. And I'm sitting over here like, please, you know that's going to happen. They no way that Lydia is going to be okay with having you around when they're married, like if they do get married. After this, we get a little discussion between Chris and Issy because Issy does not really like the way that Johnny came off and just like how she's handling the situation. And
to her that I think she's a bad person because I think she's amazing. I never told her that you said she was a bad person. Red flag right there. If I would have...
Yeah. So they're honestly, I think Issy just can't get over the fact that this isn't working anymore and he doesn't have to continue to insert himself in situations where he's not being called for. Like, stay away. But then Johnny joins in, what's her name? Stacy joins in, and both of, like, Stacy just comes off rude as heck. Like, get over this. Like, this is not important anymore. But she doesn't.
In the pudding, no one has ill intentions. It's just calling shit for shit.
We're just calling you
I'm
out.
not a straight shooter, honey. That's all I stand for. And you got none of
This is
that.
not between us.
You got
We're
none of
good.
that.
I'm just looking out for you because you're an amazing guy. All four of us are not good. We're good.
That is all that.
Yeah, they're not good. It's like Chris said, all four of them are not good. They're in a bad situation. It's better for them to not have a friendship at all and just move on with their lives. After this, we also get a little conversation between Issy and Stacy, where Issy tells her that like he was very turned on by the fact that she defended him around Johnny. Like, that really just throw him off the edge. And I was like, that's just weird. Like, the fact that you would get turned on by that, it just makes it seem like what Stacy does herself doesn't turn you on, doesn't give you that satisfaction. And then they have an argument about this whole situation. AC gets very, very emotional. And not only that, but he's also drunk. So, you know, having a deep conversation and having alcohol in your system is definitely not the best combination. So he gets very emotional. He hides himself in the closet and he's just like crying his ass off. He leaves the microphone outside, and then later on, Stacy walks into the closet with her mic on and she leaves the door open. Like, he's telling you he needs a second because he wants to cry it out. And I know some people are going to be like, oh, men are not supposed to cry. No, men are supposed to cry. Everyone's supposed to cry. If you have emotions, then cry it out. It is what it is. And the fact that she walked into the closet and didn't respect his privacy was just, I don't know. It was just icky to me.
I don't feel like I'm good enough for you. I don't feel like anything I do, I feel like I can be the best person I can be, and I feel like I don't ever meet your expectation. I do my best to be patient and kind, and there's always something, and I'm over it.
There's no way that you'll take me back. On this sky with no landmark. Making progress and yet nothing's changing. As to where it's got.
Like, poor AC. I honestly felt really bad for him in this part. I just didn't really understand why she had to do that. But, I mean, this is the relationship. So the next day, after the fight between Issy and Stacy, Issy shows up to Stacy's job with a bag full of gifts and just trying to amend things with each other. He tells her how he feels about the situation and how he feels like anything he does is not good enough for her. And that's just, you know, throwing him off. He doesn't feel comfortable like that. And she just tells him that she loves him and that she's going to do her best to be a better person and I guess appreciate him more. And then she tells him things that she needs from him. And this is the gift that he gives her.
I got a coupon. Izzy cooks you dinner while you sit and look sexy.
Horrible writing.
What is
Nice, because that's one of the things that she wanted. She wanted him to make dinner for her at least sometimes, and for her not to be the only one cooking.
Oh my god. Oh, there's writing on it. This is a shitty situation, but
just like in Mexico, I'm here to love you and fight for you.
Pretty cute. Remember the situation in Mexico when they were, in the hotel? She clogged the toilet. So it's like a cute reference to their relationship. So that was pretty cute, I guess. Now we are off to meeting Izzy's mom, and this is gonna be the first time that Stacy's gonna meet her too. So Izzy's mom tells him that she feels just not weird, but this is new to her because in her culture it's very different when you meet someone. And she tells him, when you marry someone, it's till death do us apart, and it's that like where you're leaning towards, to death do you guys apart. What is it that's different between this relationship? And this is what Izzy says.
When I meet girls is when there's a problem that comes up, they always run away. She's had her meltdowns multiple times. I've had mine. What I'm grateful for is we always fix it.
So has she cooked?
Yeah. And then she asked, has she cooked for you? And he's like, yeah, she has, but I haven't. And she has given me a lot of shit for it because I haven't done it. And yeah, maybe you should cook a meal for her. Then Stacy shows up and they start talking to each other. They like each other a lot. The mom really likes Stacy. But, there is some worries there as to what is it that they do have between each other. Sometimes their answers, to me at least, seem that they're a little bit superficial and not really feelings for each other. More than anything, they're trying to make this work and they really don't know how. Now we are off to meeting Milton's parents, and this is going to be, the first time that Lydia is going to meet them. And I would say this was one of the most interesting meetups between the families because Milton's parents ask a lot of questions and they are concerned about the age difference because, Milton is 24 and there's a lot of things that he still hasn't experienced. There's a lot of things that he's still doing, and it's a little contradicting because sometimes it feels like Lydia treats Milton more as a child than she does as an equal partner. And we get this.
I want to get to important questions. What made y'all decide this is what y'all wanted to do?
For me, particularly for me, I have had unsuccessful dating experiences. I don't see them as failed relationship. I see them as lessons to be learned and applied.
Lessons to be learned, right, Lydia? That's what she says, that those are lessons to be learned. So hopefully she does learn from that lessons. Maybe she will not, but we'll see about that.
Anyone his age?
The mom actually asked Lydia, like, what's up with the age?
What? Have you ever dated him? No, I have never dated someone who's younger than me.
I was going to ask that, just curious on what someone 30 would be interested in a 24-year-old.
Yep. According to Lydia, she thinks that Milton is very mature and more mature than some of the guys that were older than her that she has dated in the past. And the whole time, Milton's over there trying to get the cordial out of a wine bottle. Come be part of the conversation. They're literally over here asking a bunch of questions to Lydia and they're doing something else. But in reality, that's really all we get from this part. They just talk about their differences and how they're going to, what are the things that Lydia doesn't like about Milton. And the majority of them were things that I guess like a bachelor still does. Leave his things on the ground, doesn't really pick up after himself, doesn't like to wash dishes, and things like that. But we'll see if that makes the relationship work out or if they're going to break it up because of that. Maybe Lydia should date someone who's her own age, and maybe Milton should stop trying to get married so quickly and go have another life for the time being until he's ready. And that was it for episode 8. It was really not much to it, and we're off to episode 9 where the couples are going to file for the marriage licenses and they're gonna go wedding dress shopping, suit shopping, and they're gonna have one of their last dates together before they make their final decision. And one of the things that I wanted to highlight when it comes to this, there wasn't really a lot to it, but I thought it was very interesting how horrible some of the edits that the Love is Blind made because they were kind of garbage. As some of you know, or if you guys don't know, there were other four couples that got engaged in this experiment. However, they chose not to put them on screen. I was going through TikTok, doom scrolling, and I saw that there's one of the couples that actually filed a lawsuit against Love is Blind, and one of the reasons were that they were forced imprisonment, there were like deprivation of food and like excess alcohol, and one where it was saying the fight, like there was another lawsuit against her partner in specific of domestic abuse, and she was also trying to hold Love is Blind accountable because she said that he was employed under them, and not only that, but they were present when that happened. So maybe that's one of the reasons why they chose to get rid of a lot of the couples. And for example, in the next clip that I'm gonna show you guys, you can tell that Renee is in the dress fitting, and Carter is too, and these two got engaged to each other, Renee and Carter. And when Lydia's talking about who she brought to the dress fitting, she doesn't say Renee exactly. Like, she doesn't say it. Renee is the one that says it, but the editors make it seem like it was actually Lydia the one that said it. Watch. Here we go.
Good, I'm very excited.
So who'd you bring with you today, Lydia?
So I brought my mom.
Hi.
Renee.
You see?
Hi.
That doesn't even...
Best friend's Krista.
Hi.
But yeah, so they do the whole dress shopping. Honestly, all of this information isn't really important, so I'm not going to put it on the video. But here we go with the other part that I was like, oh, that's Carter. You guys see this right here? That's Carter. And this right here is Izzy. So we know that he was there. And you cannot tell me that he was there being friends of Milton or Izzy because he wasn't really friends with them. But they put him there. So yes, they did get engaged. I don't know if they're together. I don't think they're still together, but he was there.
So let me see if I can find.
We also get some twerking from Lydia. That's one of the
Let me see if we can take a look.
other parts that I thought was interesting. Yep, drop it down low. But yeah. After the whole dress fitting and the suit fitting, we are off to Izzy and Stacy going on their last date, and Izzy decides to take her on like a plane ride, or like a a personal plane ride, and he says that is because his dad, Stacy's dad told him that love can sometimes be a private plane, sometimes can be a trip to Europe and stuff like that. So they go on the little plane thing, and then they have a pretty cute day with each other. And here it is, some of it, so you guys can put pictures to it.
This is our first time.
But yeah, this is their cute little day. Izzy also talks to Stacy and tells her that he definitely loves the fact that he feels comfortable with Stacy's family. And I didn't really know how to feel about this because we don't really see the interactions between Izzy and Stacy's family. And the last one that we did see wasn't really that reassuring. It didn't feel like they were going to make it to the end, but he says that the relationship is actually very good, and that he feels like this is his family. So that was very cute. Let's see if that's the case. I wish they would have showed more so we could actually put those two together, but they didn't. You guys see this tension? This tension happening? I was wondering what it was the whole time. So they're not talking to each other. I don't know what is going on, but he's like incredibly stressed, as you guys saw. He's just like freaking out. So they start talking about what the problem exactly is. And it turns out that, as we knew, Izzy is not being completely honest when it comes to his financials. And he hasn't really been honest with Stacy. Now, I would think for an experiment of this type, you're going to be fully honest with your partner to make sure that both of you make the right decision, because you guys are getting married. But whatever, like talking about it, and he's like, I just didn't want to tell you. It turns out that Izzy does not have a credit card. Why doesn't he have a credit card? Because he has very bad credit. Because before he was in debt, and now he doesn't have a credit card because of his credit. Stacy does not like that. She feels like he lied to her. She feels like he wasn't completely honest and that he should have one. And why isn't he telling her the truth? Eventually they hash it out and they just say that, Izzy's gonna try to be more honest with her and just be open about all the situations, even if he doesn't feel like it's the right time or the right place to have that conversation. And Stacy shrugs it off and she says that it's okay. That's it. There's nothing else. For Milton's and Lydia's last day, this is where he takes her, which is like a museum of minerals, and they're just gonna go have dinner. It doesn't really seem like Lydia is so into this as Milton is, but this is what they like. They start having a conversation about how Lydia reacts to certain situations, especially when it comes to how she reacted to the Uche situation. And he's like, you just don't know how to control your feelings. And Lydia takes this the wrong way. She's like, you can't tell me that I can't control my feelings. That's not nice. And, it's usually when you tell someone they can't control their feelings, they don't take it pretty well. So that is what's going on with Lydia. And he tells her, I feel like I can't talk to you. Every time you get up from bed, you're already upset. And she's like, well, because you did something. He tells her, I did something within 30 seconds of me waking up. And she's like, well, something makes me upset. And it's like, okay, well, maybe you have a lot of issues, Lydia. Maybe you have a lot of anger issues, and you should try to find ways to process those issues before trying to get into a marriage, especially with someone like Milton. Like, I don't understand how it is that Milton at times seems to be a little bit more mature than Lydia is. And the only thing he's really asking her to do is to tone down her feelings a little bit. He's not telling her oppress your feelings. He's saying you can control the way that you react to them, to the things that you hear, to the things that you do. And then she's like, well, I control myself really good, because he tells her that he should have left when the Uche situation started. And she's like, well, I think I did a pretty well job because I left. And he's like, because I left twice. He says, leaving twice is not living. Leaving twice is not leaving. And he's right. Like, you leaving means that you leave and you don't come back. But Lydia did come back. And yeah, they have this whole conversation about that. And she tells him that, like, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings by doing that. And this is just the way that I react to things. I don't really know if she's going to try to do better when it comes to how she reacts to certain things. But I really hope that that is the case. But we'll definitely see what happens. That is all for this episode. For this recap. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I am sorry if there wasn't a lot of editing, like I said earlier. Please don't forget to subscribe. I do have a lot of people that are watching my videos and are not subscribing, and I would really appreciate it if you guys do, because it helps my videos, it helps my channel, and I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I will have a video for you guys probably in the next 2 days about the new season of 90 Day Fiancé. I'm so excited to meet the couples, and it's gonna be an awesome ride. Thank you and have a great day. Bye.